Welcome viewers. Today I am going to take an important topic, that is role of industrial engineering enabling circular economy through Industry 4.0. In this topic, three areas I am going to cover. The first is industrial engineering, second is circular economy, and third one is Industry 4.0 techniques. Now the question comes, why there is a need of a circular economy? Today we are at the joint or at the edge of revolution, where we are taking the advantage of every comfort which we have been given by the each invention or the discovery. But what is happening? In earlier, we have a three system, that is take, make and dispose. This is called the linear economy, where the main focus is consumption and decomposing or the disposing. This linear economy created a lot of change in the environment. There is a degradation in the environment, there is a climate change, and also the depletion in the resources. As we are using the four-wheeler or two-wheeler or buses, our natural resource as a fuel is, we are consuming it daily, and we are also experiencing the pollution which we are facing in our daily life. But now the term circular economy says that we have to design, we have to produce, we have to use, we have to reuse, we have to repair, we have to remanufacture, we have to recycle, then only we have to decompose or we have to dispose it. So that is the idea of the circular economy. Before starting, we have certain questions for you, that where we are standing. Today, we are getting disposable glasses, and something in our mind that disposable glasses are very hygienic, and so we have forget to use the washable glasses. Every time we need a new glass, disposable glass, we take the water, we take the coffee or tea, and we throw it in our dustbin. So my first question for all the learners, whether the disposable glasses are more environmental friendly or the washable glasses are more environmental friendly. I will explain all the things at the end of my session. Second thing which we are using is a plastic bags. Another option is paper bag or the cloth bag. Every time whenever we go for shopping, either taking milk or vegetable or fruits, every time we demand for the plastic bag. Whether it is a sustainable, are we doing justice to the environment, or we have to use the paper bag? Definitely paper bag has limitation, but we can use the cloth bag also. Third point which I want to raise is, nowadays we are using the e-vehicle. Every time a new company is coming, or even the old company or existing companies are coming with the new e-vehicle with the good mileage. Earlier, with the one charging, they are giving 150, now they are giving 350. So everybody is going for e-vehicle thinking that it is environmental friendly. So you have to think whether internal combustion vehicle our IC vehicle is more environmental sustainable or the e-vehicle. The last one is the solar energy or the coal energy. Earlier, we were using coal energy to generate the electricity or the power, but now we are taking the solar energy. Now, again the question comes that whether the solar energy is environmentally sustainable or the your coal energy. Before further going, we want to say that why we need the circular economy. There are 3 points that we want, that the product which we are getting, it should remain in the use. That is the first principle of the circular economy. Circular economy says, just like its name indicate, it is a circular in nature. That whatever you are producing, it should, instead of disposing it, it should recycle and it should come to the initial stage in a different manner. I will give you one of the example that the printer which we were using earlier, that is inkjet or the printer which we are using, now it has been used by the post office because they have to only print the receipt. We are at the office, we are using the laser printer, but instead of disposing it and creating the more e-waste, we are using the printer at the post office or at the place where it finds its utility. Another thing which is a main component of the circular economy is regenerating the natural resources. When we say regenerating, it does not mean that we are creating more natural resources. If we think of some technique which will emphasize on the less consumption of natural resources, definitely we are saving, and something is saved is something is generated. Another thing is that optimizing the resource use. Just like electricity at our home, let us start with our home. We can use the optimum or we can optimize the use of electricity at our home or even in the office. In the circular economy, there are 5 R. They are very common and we normally use to define the circular economy principle. First R is the repair. Whatever the product which we are using today, I have taken one example. If we have appliances, if it is broken down, it is a normal practice. We normally go for the new one. But in circular economy, we focus on the repairing of the appliances. So when we repair it, we are minimizing the demand for a new product. See, on the same side, we are also reducing the demand for the raw material or the resources which are required to make them. Another point is rethink. This is a completely new concept that can we think of ownership. Instead of ownership, can we have the lease type of things? If we are purchasing something, instead of giving ownership to the customer, we should lease the product to the customer. What will make it make it great thing about it, that we are encouraging the reuse. We have given certain items to one person. After using or after the life, he will return it and it will be used for the another person. So basically what we are doing, we are making the use of it. So that is a new concept, and the few companies, international companies or the multinational companies, are the focusing on leasing the product to their end customer, so that after certain period of time it will be buyback, or it will be returned to the company, and the company will refurbish it or remanufacture it or repair it, and it will be used as a new product to the new customer. This is the rethinking. Another one is very important, is a reduce. When we talk about the reduce, that we will design a product as a industrial engineering, it is our duty to design a project which needs a few materials. That means we have to adopt a manufacturing process that use less energy. For example, when we are using the CNC machine in place of conventional our lathe machine, we are optimizing the use of energy. Similarly, if we use or design a product with a less parts, then we are minimizing the manufacturing process. The number of processes are going to be reduced, and that gives the consumption of less energy. Another point is reuse. Reuse means, as I given you one example of the printer, same thing is about the furniture. We use the furniture, but that furniture can be refurbished. It can be reused for some other purposes also. For our purposes, definitely we have money, we can buy a new one, but in all, we can after refurbish, it can be used as a new one. So this is the reuse. So I have given one example of the furniture, old furniture. Same thing, you can use it for different other purposes. Just like H&M, a big mercantile retailer, is using the old clothes for recycling and refurbishing and giving to the needy person. Then third or the last, fifth R is a recycle. Recycle is a term that means we are recycling it. For example, just like bottles, we have a plastic bottles of mineral water or some other products. We have to melt it down and we have to make it another product. So what we are doing? We are recycling it. Instead of, because it is true that we cannot use it to make again the bottles, because for making the bottles we need the certain granules of plastic. It goes in a different process. But if we melt it, and that can be used in the new type of things, we can make the plastic bags or something else which can be used. Even then, I have seen the other plastic products which we normally use, they are recycled and they are built as a new product. For example, the glasses or some other decorative products. So that is the 5 R which we have discussed for the circular economy. Now we comes to the industrial engineering. Industrial engineering is a very old discipline in the engineering. And if we remember today, Frederick W. Taylor was the father of industrial engineering, who designed or developed the scientific management. That means if two persons are doing the same work, and if we explain properly the method of doing the work to one person, and another person we will not explain. The person who is well aware of the process, he will do the particular process in a more scientifically and more efficiently. Even in case of scientific management, it has been found that if two persons are compared, then one person with the scientific management will be more productive than the second person. So in this way, he is more productive. Same thing is true when we talk about the role of industrial engineer. There are so many things which reminds me to discuss or to share with you that what the industrial engineer do. Industrial engineer always makes an effort to minimize the all kind of waste.
Hello.
Please.
Hello. Am I audible?
Audible. You are audible.
Sir, so I am Dr. Nishtha Agarwal. So in the context of circular economy, there is a term known as industrial symbiosis.
Yeah.
So if you could throw some light on that also.
Yeah. Thank you, Nishtha. Industrial symbiosis is a word which is not very commonly used today, but unknowingly we are using it. For example, the output of one industry or the waste from the output industry or waste from one industry can be used as a useful input for the other industry, that is called the industry symbiosis. For example, if we take the example of a coal industry or the steel industry where the lot of heat was generated, now this is a waste for that particular steel industry, but this can be act as an input for the electricity generation or heating the boilers, for heating the water, to making it as a steam to run the turbine. So basically it is a industry symbiosis. So there are so many other examples where the waste of one industry, and you just see that how it works as a circular economy, that the waste which is going in the environment, and it is not of any use, but it is used as an input for the other industry. Same as the paper industry, where the heat is generated from the boiler. Now this heat, after heating the boiler, it becomes a waste and it goes to the environment. But now the water which is coming to the boiler, if we preheat it, or if the heat which is a waste can be used as an input to heating the water which is going inside the boiler, it will increase the efficiency of the boiler. So it becomes a industry symbiosis. I think I have explained you about the industry symbiosis. So how we can collaborate, or how the industrial engineer collaborate in the circular economy? First and the foremost is the product design and the development. Under the product design and development, this is the duty of the industrial engineer, because there are so many work which an industrial engineer performs in any industry. For example, he or she is also involved in the product design and development. Under the product design and development, there is a term, design for disassembly. That means we have to design a product which can be disassembled easily. We should not make a product which is very difficult to disassemble. Why we want to disassemble it? Because we want that if there is a certain problem in one part, we can disassemble it, we can repair the part and we can assemble it. So this will make the use, because we are not changing the complete product or the complete machinery. Another point which comes when we design the product is the modularity. The product should be made in the modular in nature. Any product, if there is any change, there is any problem, it should be very easy to change because it is a modular in the nature. Third one, there should be always a chance for the upgradability. Upgradability means if we are using a product and we are thinking to change one particular component as we are getting a advanced or upgraded version of that particular component, we will not change the entire product. We will only change that particular component and then our product will be new. Another important point which comes under this is a life cycle assessment. Now, every product has a life, that is initial growth, then maturity and the decline. This is the life cycle of every product. Nowadays, with the expectation, with the technological advancement, the life cycle or the product life cycle is reducing. Now everybody wants the product with the customer expectation as increasing. Now in life cycle assessment, we can assess the life of the particular product as well as we can also assess the impact of a particular product on the environment. And we okay, thank you. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
हाँ, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. बोलिए.
Dr. Ram Prakash from Ghaziabad.
जी.
Just I want to know some question from you.
जी.
What are the other roles which an industrial engineer can play?
Yeah.
Another question is, what are the limitations of circular economy?
Okay.
Because you have given more idea about.
जी. The industrial engineer, the role of is very versatile in nature because in most of the cases, as in today's session, we are more focusing on the circular economy. Even in circular economy, the role which we are going to discuss, we can have the more role. Just like reduction in the parts is one, or modularity, creating modularity in the product is one, having the life cycle assessment is another. But beside that, we can make the use of industrial engineering in recycling or making the use of a reverse logistic. Reverse logistic means how we can plan the whole cycle of the product so that it should start with its origin. We can use it, we can reuse it, we can repair or recycle or refurbish till its final disposing of the particular product. Because nowadays what is happening, the role of industrial engineer is limited to the only the industry, and the most important role which I have observed in the automotive company. You will surprised to know that how the industrial engineer helps in reducing the pollution or the consumption of the fuel. I will give you one example, that in one of the heavy vehicle there was a problem and the more warranty claim were coming because of the repair of the shock absorbers. Now, it is a normal tendency of the transporter to overload the truck. 10 to 15% or 20% is a common tendency of a transporter to give the more load. Now, due to this load, the load was coming on the shock absorber, and through brainstorming it has been found that the main problem exists only in the supporting component of the shock absorber, or the leaf spring you can say. And it has made of a harder material, of the material with the more strength, 10 to 15% more strength. When the part, this small part, not of much values, even 500 or 600 rupees per part, when it is a change, the number of warranty claim drastically reduced, and 10 to 20% overloading can be done, and you just see that the more number of products can be transported from the one place to another place. This gives the optimization in the transportation cost. Another important area where the industrial engineer play role, we have seen that earlier the four-wheelers were coming through trucks with their tires. Now, when the four-wheelers are uploaded on the truck with their tire, the number of vehicles in each truck was less, 6 to 8. So, through brainstorming, through industrial engineering skill, the tire was removed while uploading the vehicle, and the tire was fitted again at the end of the warehouse or the dealer end. So this will help the uploading the vehicles in a more number. Earlier it was 6, now it is 10 to 12. So you just see that with the same transportation cost, more number of vehicles are transporting from one place to another. Another few areas which a normal industrial engineer play is the use of both hands, and to see that if in a facility or a plant layout, what is the right place or appropriate place of placing the machines, so that the movement of labor or the worker can be minimized. It is another type of waste. Another important area is the ergonomics, which again we are always seeing the big cranes or the crane operator. You just imagine the crane operator normally works for 6 to 8 hours sitting in a one position. So if we make the uncomfortable, he will feel fatigue after a certain time, and his efficiency or her efficiency will be drastically reduced. So as an industrial engineer, we will design the chair in the crane compartment ergonomically so that he or she feel comfortable while working for 6 to 8 hours. So in this way we see, and what are the limitations, because nowadays we will come again in the last where we will give the challenges which circular economy faces. The new phases of the circular economy is coming as a circular economy 2.0, where we are taking the more advancement of the circular economy. Another important point which a industrial engineer normally gives as a input is the manufacturing process. Under the manufacturing process, there is another important term, lean manufacturing principle. When we talk about the lean manufacturing principle, it is the principle of waste minimization. As the name indicates, lean means something which does not have the fat. Here we always try to use the manufacturing process where we can minimize the waste. There are two types of process. One is your pull process, one is your push process. In lean principle, every type of non-value added activity is a type of waste. And in circular economy, the focus is to minimize the waste of each and every type. So when we talk about the manufacturing process, we have to see the number of process whether we can reduce or not. Another example which I will give you for the Toyota Motors, where all of a sudden they have to make 20% enhancement in their total number of production per month. Now, how it will be possible? So, they have focused as their industrial engineer team on the manufacturing processes. They have categorized, and there is one term which is used as a takt time. Takt time is a time which is being taken by preparing the one unit. So it has been found that the robot which is welding, it takes a time which can be reduced. So that process, instead of 5 process, they have reduced to 4 process, and that time which was going on the left side then right side is directly coming from the setup place to the product place. So we have reduced the number of processes and the takt time was reduced, and in this way the Toyota Motor System was able to produce more vehicles in a month. Now we will come to the additive manufacturing or the industry symbiosis. Industry symbiosis, as we explained, that if we are using the waste from the one industry which is used as an input to the other industry, it is called the industry symbiosis. And industry symbiosis helps in minimizing the waste and using the waste in a useful activities. Another term which is coming as a manufacturing process is a additive manufacturing. Additive manufacturing, as the name indicates, is a 3D printing where we take the help of machines which are operated by the computer or the programming, where we can make any difficult type of a design product through additive manufacturing. Now, how the additive manufacturing is helpful in the circular economy? Because in the factory there are certain products which are in demand, and we keep the inventory of that particular component as a wasteful activity in our warehouse. Through additive manufacturing, we can make the product on demand. So additive manufacturing helps in making the product or the component whenever it is in demand. The third important component for the role of industrial engineering is the supply chain management. Under the supply chain management, there is another component which is called the closed loop supply chain. As the name indicates, that is a closed loop, that it will start from one end and it will make and it will come to the original position. With the help of the closed loop supply chain, we will minimize the use of resources, or we can say we have optimized the resources. We will minimize the waste as an output. We will disposing less number of materials. Another thing is supply chain optimization. As I told you that one of the main objective of any supply chain or any industrial engineer is to make the optimization. How the optimization can be done? Just for example, if we have a 4 manufacturing unit and 5 marketplaces, and each marketplace have the different demand, and the cost of transportation from one manufacturing unit to the market is different. Now what we can do? We can use the transportation model and we will design a proper transportation problem so that we can optimize the total transportation cost. This is one example. Even we can optimize the many other things, just like inventory management we can optimize. For example, instead of keeping the inventory or the ownership with the retailer, the supplier keeps the inventory or the ownership in his own hand. So what is happening? That the retailer, which earlier was not ready to keep the inventory of that particular item, now he is ready to keep, because he is not paying anything. He will make the payment only for those products which he or she is able to sell. So in this way, it is a optimization. Another important thing which comes under the supply chain management is the sourcing the sustainable material. This is more important. We, as an industrial engineer, we have to focus on those materials or the raw material which are sustainable, which can be reused again and again. You should not use the material which is not sustainable. At least it should be used again and again. Another important area which a industrial engineer can play is the operation management. Under the operation management, the one is your predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance means we have to see the identify the fault which is going to occur in the machine. That means with the help of the predictive maintenance, we are minimizing the time of a breakdown. What happens? Each machinery needs a overhauling or the particular type of a care. Now, through predictive maintenance, we know that this is the time period or the life cycle of this machinery. Before the declining stage, what we will do? We will do the predictive maintenance for that machinery so that the lifespan of that particular machinery will be increased. So what we are doing? We are minimizing the breakdown time. Another important thing is resource recovery and the recycling. Whatever we are, for example, our desktop, or PC or many other items, just like for example mobile, we have certain things, and after using it, it becomes a type of a e-waste. So as an industrial engineer, we have to identify the resources which are available with the e-waste. If it goes to the environment, it is more hazardous to the environment. So what we as an industrial engineer we have to make a strategy so that we can recover the resources. We have to do certain things, we have to recycle it. Another thing is circular business model, which we have explained. The circular business model is same as a lease type of a agreement. Any product which we buy, we will not have the ownership of that particular product. The company will give us the product on the lease after a certain period or after the lifespan, or as per the agreement between the buyer and the seller. The seller will take back the product from the buyer and it will refurbish or remanufacture or recycle it, and it will make it as usable for the another person. Another important point is a technological integration. This is completely Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 always talk about the use of latest technology for the manufacturing process, for the supporting the processes in an industry. Now the first term which comes as a Internet of Things. With the Internet of Things, it makes a lot of change, and the lot of things which were very difficult, now with the help of the information technology, with the help of the Internet of Things, it becomes very easy through technological integration. Artificial intelligence works as a predictive type of things. With the use of data analytics, we can find the consumer behavior, we can find the machine behavior, we can find the product behavior. So with the help of the artificial intelligence, we can predict the life cycle of the particular product. Another important point or the area in the Industry 4.0 is the blockchain. Blockchain helps in bringing the transparency across the supply chain, because with the help of the blockchain, any trading partners can see, so it gives the visibility across the supply chain. So these are the few new areas or the Industry 4.0 techniques which helps in achieving the circular economy. Now there are few case studies which we will discuss to emphasize how the industry or the companies are using the technology or the use of industrial engineering in minimizing the waste or in helping in making the circular economy. The first one is your Philips lighting. As you are aware that our electricity bulb, whether it is a tube light, whether it is a LED bulb or CFL, they use the mercury. So the Philips light uses a term that is called the ERP, that is Extended Responsibility of Producer. Now who is producer? Philips Lighting is the producer of that particular product which is generating the mercury and which is very hazardous to the environment after the use of that particular product. So the Philips Lighting, what they do, they provide the lighting as a service. So what they do, they encourage their customer to return the product, or even then, as I told you, as a ERP, they take the help of certain agent so that the product which is going to be waste and it is lying and creating environmental hazard, it will be go back to the company, it will recycle, it will again use in the another component. So this is one of the example of the case study. And another, there are so many other things which the companies are doing. Another thing company which is doing is the Interface, which is a global flooring company, has implemented a closed loop manufacturing system of reusing and recycling the carpet tiles to create a new product. So what they are doing, they are taking the old or the consumed or the waste carpet tiles and they recycle it, they remanufacture it, and it becomes the new product or the new type of a product, and thus they are reducing the environmental impact or degradation. So these are the few case studies. Another case study is very popular, that is the BMW. They are focusing on the modular vehicle. So what the modular vehicle does, they allow for the easy repair and the replacement of the parts and thus extending the lifespan of the vehicle. The same thing happens with the other companies also. They are also developing the modular structure for the easy repair and the easy maintenance of that particular product in their vehicle. Now, as one of the question came, what are the challenges or what are the barriers in case of the circular economy? I have categorized the barriers into three categories. One is technological limitations. Even in the advanced stage where there is a vast or every day there is a advancement in the technology, still there is a limitation, and that some of the technology which need to support a fully circular economy are still under development. That means for fully use the circular economy or fully functionalize the circular economy, we still lack the technology. Still we need some type of a technology where we can use fully the circular economy. Another barrier is the economic barrier. As you know, in certain cases or in the most of the cases, we need the investment. If we are using or we are requesting our supplier to use the sustainable material, there must be some reason for it. And if the sustainable material is costly, then it is the duty of the manufacturer or the OEM to convince the supplier or the manufacturer or the first tier supplier to invest on that. That is the second type of barrier. Third type of barrier is the consumer itself. As I given you few examples, even as a customer, I will prefer the disposable glasses, because in my mind, hygiene is the top priority. If two glasses are in front of me, washable and disposable, I will prefer the disposable. I will not mind, or I will forget whatever is sustainable or not sustainable, but we will prefer. So that is the consumer behavior. Same thing is that we have to change the mindset of the consumer. We have to change the mindset. We have to think of the circular economy if we want the successful. That is crucial, more crucial. Then definitely we will go for the more. Same thing happens with the plastic bag or the paper bag or the cloth bag. Why the consumer cannot be changed? Why there is need of each time to use the plastic bags? Or even in case of some hotels, they used to provide the mineral water, which is again a type of a waste of the or the plastic waste. Where it is going, it is dumping and it is making a huge amount of waste in our environment. And due to this, there is a climate change, there is a degradation of the environment, and as an engineer, as an industrial engineer, we have to focus on all these issues. So in conclusion, we can say that industrial engineer plays a critical role in achieving the circular economy. Definitely, there are so many other areas which an industrial engineer has to work. Starting from if we take the closed loop supply chain, the term which is come as a reverse logistic. One has to plan the whole supply chain right from the beginning. If we say that we need a product, for example, I am using the toothpaste, and what I will do, after using it, I dispose it in my dustbin. Where it is going? Have you ever thought of doing anything of these items? Or our newspaper, or even our waste from the kitchen or from the offices. Have we ever thought of using it? Are we using one-side paper? Why we are using that? Why we are not using the rough paper, which is used by or they have a one-side blank? Because we are not in a habit. As I told you, as a consumer, we want everything as a fresh thing. We can optimize the thing, we can optimize the process, we can integrate the advanced technologies, we can use the innovative models. Another important point, which is the last but not the least, there is a need of a collaboration and the continuous evolution. If there are 5 or 10 players in the closed loop supply chain, the collaboration among the all players are always required to achieve the successful circular economy. I trust that my session is provided you enough insight in the circular economy, role of industry engineering through Industry 4.0 techniques. Thank you.